This video covers the second step, populate parcel-level land use variables for the parcels we selected in the first step. This step involves extensive knowledge of land use modeling. Land use modeling is usually performed by planners, and the process is not covered in this demo. For regional scenarios, a land use modeling software, iPlace3S, was used. Please refer to page 1-2 in SacSim model document for details. iPlace3S provided the land use input data files for use in creating the SacSim parcel point data file for regional scenarios. Place type used in iPlace3S is the fundamental description of the existing or future land use of a parcel. Place type roughly corresponds to general plan land use types, commonly used by jurisdictions for describing land use policy. Place type of a parcel will be used to estimate street patterns in later process and in population file generation. Therefore, for a small area project, even you are not going to use iPlace3S to estimate the yields of land uses, we still recommend to use SacCog place types when estimate dwelling units and employment by sectors in the project area. A list of place types used by SacCog can be provided. In this project, we assume that the project developer has provided us a map by place types, and a table like this can be prepared based on project descriptions and land use assumptions. There are 4 areas based on place type. They are medium high density residential, low density residential, community neighborhood retail, and a K-12 school site. In this table, we know the total dwelling units, the jobs by sectors, and the school enrollment for each of the area. Now we go to ArcMap. Let's add the concerned variables to project parcel point file. First, HOUSESP for housing, we use long integer. Next is K-12 school enrollment. Education, employment, retail employment, service employment, and the place type. We use short integer for place type. Now let's compute each variable. Since we only know the total for each area, we will allocate the average to each parcel in each area by place type. First, let's go to low density residential area. So there's 42 parcels in this area. because housing variable is defined as occupied dwelling units, we need to apply occupancy rate, for example, 0.95 here. So the equation to compute HOUSESP will be 0.95 multiply 500. We know there's 500 dwelling units in this area, and divide by the number of parcels will be 42. At the end, we need to multiply by 100, which is the definition of the variable. You say OK. So the value for HOUSESP is 1131. Now we need to assign the place type. We use the prefix of each of the type. For low density residential will be 3. Then move to medium high density residential. So the place type, we do place type first. Place type is 5. And then HOUSP will be the same occupancy rate multiplied by the total of the area is 1,000 divided by the number of parcels is 14, and multiply by 100. So we are done 2 residential areas. Now move to the community retail area. So there's 18 parcels selected. In this area, there's retail employment and the service employment from the table. So the retail, we'll do retail employment. There's no occupancy rate for employment. So there's 300 divided by 18 parcels and multiply 100. So we have this. For the service employment, there's 100. And then the place type for this type is 10. The place type numbers is from the prefix number of each of the type. We have 3, 5, 10, and 50. Then the last type is schools. There's 8 parcels. In school side, we will calculate student enrollment. There's a 600 school enrollment divided by 8 parcels. Multiply by 100. And also there's education employment. There's 60 education employment. And the place type for school site is 50. So we are done with the population of the parcel level variables. So this is the end of step 2.